I think they've got all the gear, no idea.
Really?
Like, I hope I'm right.
What's underachievement? Do you rank they finish outside top 8?
I don't think they finished top 7.
It's a lot right now that they're expecting on Saka. There are a lot you're expecting on Odegaard to produce that magic. And yes, they can be their X Factor players, but I do think you just need it to come from multiple areas at times.
Rodri, yeah. I'm sorry, he's the best centre midfield player in the world, arguably the best player in the world. Yo, it's your boy H Black the Sauce, Harry Pinero, and welcome back to the Inside Scoop with my co-host, the one and only Culture Cams. It's been a good weekend.
Oh, what's a weekend?
No. All right, so.
Yo, I forgot.
All right, obviously, I made a bold statement about the Community Shield and that it's just under the World Cup. Now, like I said, the team must have had something in it because it wasn't me.
Yeah.
I didn't mean that.
I don't know who that was.
I don't know who that was either.
I don't recognize that.
Do you know what I'm saying? However, with that being said, we did tell you guys that we was going to have an amazing experience, and we did have that at Wembley, pitch side. Cam's got there just a tad late, so he missed when we actually got the access was so like unprecedented. It was crazy. I'm talking about the coaches pulling up, players coming out, and I counted, Cams, out of the maybe 22 players that was there, 11 bigged me up. I'm a child, bro.
This is your club, man.
It's a dream. Like, it's an actual dream.
Yeah,
you know, like when you support a club and the players recognize you for the work that you do outside of football. It was amazing. We saw Kobe. Obviously, everyone saw the clip.
Yeah, unreal.
But the
million views on
people
Instagram.
People don't know. I shouted his name 6 times.
Kobe,
it's me. Come on, yeah. Oh, brother.
Kobe,
no, that's me.
Like, damn, who's this?
Yeah, who's up? It's him. It's that guy. But no, it was amazing, and obviously me and Cams was pitch side. We saw, you know, the both of the teams training. Amazing experience. But obviously the clip of the day. I'll let Cams explain it. The clip of the day, if you haven't seen it for the audio listeners, go check our Instagrams. We did a collab post with Emirates FA Cup. Also, a massive shout out to Ben Forrest, what an absolute icon. He's the one that gave us all the access. But Cams, your experience, explain it.
Mate, listen. So, obviously I turned up a little bit late. Unfortunately, traffic. Listen, even if you're around Wembley, you need to make sure you get there. You leave in good time or whatever. So anyway, got there. You had already told me, I've met the team. I said, what? You met the team? They're telling me, yeah, you're like, how did I come in?
Sweating. No, he was dripping in sauce.
I ran down the Wembley way, bro. I was, yo, excuse me. Mom. I was like, nah, I'm not going to flop this, because not only is it, I don't want to flop it for yourself. I don't want to flop it for Inside Scoop. I don't want to flop it for the connection that you built, because it came through Harry, through somebody. So it was like, you know, if I didn't want to ruin that, and I've never met that person. So I was like, this is a bad look. Get there now. So we're there, then we see the City boys, you know what I mean? Some couple City, they were kind of giving us they kind of aired us. Yeah. They kind of aired us, but they were there, they were cool. And then obviously we get on the pitch, and obviously we're taking in the atmosphere, first and foremost. That was unreal. Toby came as well, shout out Toby. Yeah, and then what, we saw Ian Wright. Yes, we saw Ian Wright. So Harry, me and Ian Wright kind of like, I can't say I know.
Who does he go? I kind of know Ian Wright. What are you talking about?
Wait. Ian Wright like knows of me, if you know what I'm saying, right? But we've never spoken that well. I spoke a long time ago before the whole Culture Cams thing. And then I see him, you see him, you give him a big hug, and he comes up to me and says, bro, you're good, man. You know what I mean? You're good. I love your stuff, blah, blah, blah. So you're in the video like, you hear that? And I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. That's unreal. So now we're talking with him, whatever. And he says, oh, you want to see Roy? I'm thinking, bro, Ruud van Nistelrooy's in the corner of my eye. I said to Ian, yo, show me Ruud, though. Show me Ruud. But we go down to Roy Keane, and then Harry shakes his hand. But Harry's met him before.
Yeah.
You met him at Old Trafford before. Yeah. And I was like, this is Roy Keane, bro. Come on, bro.
Of course. It's
real men. This is Roy Keane. I said, listen, I'm taking my opportunity. Saw him, I said, Roy, I need a hug. I need a hug.
we all love it, bro, but you can't come in like that. You can't come in. No, man, it's the boss, man.
I need a hug. And he was like, who the hell is this?
Whose man's this?
Bro, he was thinking, who is this Don, right? But then obviously I was like, bro, I actually love you, bro.
Yeah.
And then after, a lot of people are messaging me like, was it awkward after? Not at all. We spoke for like a minute.
Yeah.
Minute 2. We took pictures with him,
of course.
which I still haven't uploaded. I'm waiting for that one. I'm keeping that in the chamber. But honestly, like, that was unreal, bro. That was unreal. Just me and Roy Keane. And the thing is, what's so nice about it is we met them in a way that won't be forgotten.
Of course not.
And that is the best thing about it. So that was just unreal. Obviously the game, we saw Doku, we shook hands with Doku, Xerxes, Haaland was there.
Edison.
He acknowledged us. Edison. You realize once you're so close to the thing, like once you cross those lines, you realize how everyone's just the same, bro. Yeah. Everyone is just normal. You know what I mean? And obviously we watch on TV. And one thing I would say, right, is, and this is just for everyone, we're all fans as well. When we watch stuff on TV too much, we actually do dehumanize these players.
Of course, yeah.
Like being there, you just realize they're just like normal people, and you can't believe how much pressure and how much, even how much shit we chat about them. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes when you're just next to it, you're like, fair enough. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man. But run history. I'm still looking for you.
Yeah. So
I was this.
No, yeah. You know what it is? Cams didn't have the social awareness to be able to say, I've got an opportunity, because the access we had went. No, to be honest, we will get that, God willing, again. Yeah. But Ruud van Nistelrooy is right there in your pouch. You got the jersey there, and you should have just ducked him down and said, "Ruud, I've got." Bow. He would have signed it.
But do you know what? Yeah, bro, we're in match mode.
No, I know.
So I'm just thinking, like, when I was this close to him as well, like, the team had just got to the dugout. So the team had just started sitting the bench.
Yeah.
And Ten Hag hadn't come out yet, and the players hadn't come out there, starting 11, but Ruud was there. I'm just thinking, I don't know, you're in match mode. Good. If I now come and, I just didn't know, man. I just didn't know. So, bottled that one.
No, it's fine.
But I will find you. Road to Ruud.
Yeah, road to Ruud. Again, it was an amazing opportunity. The result, obviously, we was winning 1-0, and we thought we was going to win. We didn't win. We lost on penalties. But for me, I took a lot of positives from that game. But we'll speak about those positives later on, because today's episode is going to be a Premier League predictions episode, where we'll be ranking our top 6 teams that we think will be relegated, player of the year, young player of the year, ones to watch, underachiever, overachiever, and of course the top goal scorer.
And the thing is, it doesn't have to be definitive. No, we're going to have a conversation, and we're going to have a conversation about them. So you guys, this is the most important thing, is you guys throw yours in as well. Throw yours in. I'm sure our editors will show it nice and clear on our on the screens about how we're breaking it down, just in case you miss one of the subsections. But yeah, man. But I've got an announcement actually.
Oh, okay.
Before we start.
Yes.
I've got breaking news, mate.
Oh, what's breaking news?
You know, I feel like, you see me as a negative fan. Negative United fan. I was in the car with Harry the other day, and we were talking about something. I can't remember what we were talking about. He said, "Do you know what, Cam? You're just negative."
Yeah,
bro.
It was with Leah's. We were talking about Alessandro Martinez.
Yes, that cut me deep. That cut me deep. So do you know what? This season,
what?
I am a top red.
No, I don't believe it.
I am a top red this season.
No, I don't believe it.
No, I am a top red this season.
Okay, what's brought on that change then?
Life's too short. Life's too short. Life's too short to be.
That's class.
Life is too short to be angry at your football club.
Yeah,
it's too short. It's too short.
Wow.
I saw Ten Hag in the flesh, and I thought, you're a nice man.
Yes.
How can I hate on you, bro?
Yes,
all these players. So I said, you know what? This season, I'm a top red, and it will start on Friday.
Yeah.
Go to Old Trafford. Part of it is home and away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'll be home and away a couple times this season, as much as I can. I am a top red this season. Pure positivity. Realistic though.
Yeah.
But I am positive this season. Man. I am a top red. Welcome me, please.
Can I just, all right, round of applause. And all the audio listeners, please stand up. And you know what?
Yes.
I'm standing up for this, because this.
Come on.
This is fantastic.
Come on.
Cams, you know what it is? For a very long time, I felt like the pain of Manchester United's downfall has made you a person that you're not. Because I see you when you celebrate when Man United win. I see how happy you get. It's good to have you back.
Yes,
Genuinely,
I'm here.
it's good to have you back. Well
I'm here,
done.
man.
Culture
Thank you.
Cams is a top red this season. Wow.
There you go.
Amazing. Anything can happen. Okay, so I've got the Premier League table up right now. Obviously, no games have been played, so everyone's in their alphabetical position right now. I think we start with the top 6.
Yes.
Now that can be any team. I think. Do you reckon we should agree on one or have our own individual ones?
I think we should have our own.
Okay.
We can have our own individual ones. I'm sure there'll be some that probably align anyway.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So let's start with 6th place.
I am going 6th place. This is tough already. Let me go my top 4. Let's start top 4. Or do you want to start from 6 to 1?
I thought we start from 6 to 1.
Okay,
so
6 to 1. Okay, 6 to 1. You start.
All right. So
You start.
I'm
Thinking about this 6 to 1.
So for me, it's tough for me to say this, but I think it's going to be between Newcastle and Aston Villa. Yeah. And I'm leaning towards Aston Villa more. I know that they had a fantastic season last season, and they've made some good signings as well. I think the key one for me was Amadou Onana. I think that's a player that I wanted at United as well. I think great ball player, receives the ball and gives it away. I call him a clamp play type of player. He clamps, but he also is able to play. Yeah, that's my new saying. So yeah, I think Villa. Obviously, they finished very high last season, 4th, right?
Yep.
They finished 4th last season. I do believe that sometimes it's hard to go above
Champions League.
I think that's going to take it out. We saw what it done to Newcastle as well. It does drain you out. I do believe though Unai Emery is an incredible manager, and he will be able to galvanize that team. But just now, these are like the premeditated ones. I'm going to go Villa 6th.
Villa 6th. You know, it's so hard because there's now 8 teams you have to consider in a way. I do actually think Newcastle are going to surprise people this season. They scored 80-something goals in the league last season with as many injuries as we had. So imagine when everyone's back and fit. Like, I think that was a blip for them. Obviously, they had Champions League as well. So, but then that means I'm leaving out a big team. This is what I mean. It's so tough. I'm just going to say, I'm going to go Newcastle 6th.
And why do you think that?
I just think, as I said, from last season, seeing how many goals they still scored despite injury issues, seeing how they still remained somewhat competitive with that many injuries, I just think after seeing what they done the season before that, when they were fit, they finished in the top 4. Even in the Champions League, they even had certain moments. They beat PSG and stuff last year. I think when everyone's fit and firing with Isak and all of these guys back, Bruno, Guimaraes, Tonali's back now. He's going to be playing. I think now with everyone fit and healthy, I think Newcastle are still going to be a force to be reckoned with. And bro, St. James's Park is a spooky stadium. So I'm going Newcastle to still have a strong year. And yeah, I'm going to go 6th for now.
All right, cool. I think it's either between them 2 teams. I think the teams above that, the next team I'll mention, obviously, it's all dependent on how you start your season. So we'll revise this after. 5th place.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going. So there's a few teams that I feel like are not good enough to challenge for the title, and also not good enough to maybe get into the Champions League, but will be there and about. So I think the lack of consistency in their results will bring them in and around that Europa, trying to get into the Champions League place. And the 2 teams I have are Chelsea and Man United. Chelsea for me have bought so many players. I don't know how squad harmony and how they're going to gel together. They're offering death row contracts. I think Cole Palmer signed a 9-year deal, which is crazy for me. Definitely got talent, but I don't think they have
the cohesion. Basically.
The cohesion. New manager. Todd Bowley's still spending money like it's an NFL team. So for that reason, I won't have them finishing in the top 6 for me personally. But I do think that Man United will finish 5th.
I have Man United 5th.
And the reason why I have that, I just think this is, as much as we finished 8th, I think that's still progression from 8th to 5th. A lot of the teams are much better. A lot of the teams have got what it is that they want to do in terms of how they want to play football, the type of players they want, the signings that they want. We're still lingering with, type of players. Luke Shaw has now he's out till September. And you know what? You said it. You said it, brother.
Man.
No, you did. But now, I saw something, and it's like Luke Shaw's now someone that we are hopeful. If he comes back, it's a bonus rather than someone we can count on.
Has to go.
And then obviously we signed Mazraoui and we signed De Ligt. So it's good now that we've signed those players.
Yeah.
However, I still feel midfield's a problem.
Agree.
And we haven't got that solution yet. Collier's there, but it's a lot of pressure for the young boy.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I'm going to go 5th.
Yeah, I'm going Man United 5th as well. I think one thing we've done, I think we have sorted, not the left-back situation as of yet, but we have sorted our defence in the next couple of years. We know it's going to be De Ligt, Yoro and Lisandro, Dalot, and then now we need to get a left-back. So I think that is good that we've done this window. I do think we still need 2 centre midfielders. So we'll see. I think we're probably only going to get one. Xerxes, after seeing him in real life and stuff, I think he's going to be a success. The guy's, bro, you're a tall you.
Yeah,
bro.
and he's bigger than
tall.
so my size, but he's more.
Yo, I was like, geez. So I think that's going to be a good signing. But my only fear is the midfield situation. And also, I don't think we have killers yet.
Yeah.
When Rashford maybe 2 seasons ago, but this Rashford right now, I just don't know. I don't know his game anymore. I don't know what his game. Are you like a goal scorer? Are you like a wing play? Are you a like inside playmaker? I actually just don't know what he is right now. So that's something that's probably going to be a surprise to me this year. So we'll see. But I just look at it. If our front three is, let's say, Ahmad, Xerxes, let's just say, and Rashford, who's the goal scorer? Who's scoring the goals? I don't know. So when I look at the team, I'm happy with what we've done so far. The sales, I think we should have sold more. Unfortunately, we can't because of the contracts of previous regime and stuff. So I won't blame Ineos or anything. But yeah, man, I think it will still be I just want it to be a season where I'm like, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was good. Next season, we're coming. That's all I want. So I'm just going to go 5th right now. I do think Man United, fully healthy though, full 11,
They're in the top
we
4.
can still compete with the rest of the, well, not probably City, but or Arsenal, but the rest of them. So I look at it and I'll say 5th right now.
I think that's a reasonable shout. I think this year we're being more logistic.
We're smart. We're smart with it.
You know, we're not going with these outlandish claims.
Yeah.
But let us win 10 in a row and see what happens.
Just start the season well.
That's
start
it. Fulham's a massive game, and we'll obviously, like
Yeah.
Cam said, we'll both be there. All right, now this is the Champions League places. So we're going to start with 4th place.
Yes.
So I was on Chunks of Phillies podcast. Obviously, the episode hasn't come out yet, but we discussed basically what we think our top 4 is going to be.
Okay.
And mine was between Liverpool and Spurs.
Yep.
Now, I'll speak about Spurs quickly. I think last season they played some of the best football in the league in terms of attacking.
Yep.
It was kind of naive from
Defensively,
from them, the way they played. I think Ange had his way and stuck with it regardless. But I think he has a lot of belief in that type of football, which I kind of admire. Madison being injured was an issue for me. Udogie not playing was an issue as well. Bentancur not playing as well was an issue. Bissouma not playing. There was a lot of injuries. But them signing Solanke, who I believe...
Thoughts?
That's a great signing.
Same.
Fee, I hate when fans say
You have to ignore it.
because it does not come out of no one's pocket.
Yeah, you have
We're
to
talking
ignore
about
it.
the player. Now, he's played for Liverpool, played for Chelsea. They went to Bournemouth and absolutely smashed it. When it comes to like Bournemouth scoring, even if you don't watch them play, if they've scored a lot of goals, you think Solanke's involved.
Yeah.
Right? He had a great relationship with Kluivert as well, with their link-up play. He's got more players to do that with. Kulusevski, Son, like Madison, like
don't sleep on
Brennan
that.
Johnson as well. Like I just think in terms of like let's have it, they've got some of the best players in the Premier League for that. So for me, I want to put them 4th.
Yeah.
I want to put Liverpool 4th.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to put Liverpool 4th.
And
I wanna
Spurs
put
3rd.
Spurs 3rd.
Okay.
So Liverpool, the reason why I'm putting them 4th.
I think Liverpool are a weird one.
Yeah, they're weird because they will just surprise you out of nowhere. Yeah. And Arne Slot, we have not seen too much of him. Let's have it right. Not everyone's watched him or watched these teams. But when you've got Mohamed Salah there,
and
when
Trent,
you've got Trent,
Van Dijk,
Konate, Alisson,
you can still rely on.
They've still got a core of some world class players, and I think Diaz for me. Fit Diaz is a problem. Then you've got Jota as well. If Nunes can actually just score goals this season, his movement is some of the best I've seen. If he can get it right this season, then maybe it's higher than 4th. But for now, I'll put Liverpool 4th and Spurs 3rd.
Yeah, I do. Listen, if in this prediction, if Liverpool were to fall off this season, it wouldn't surprise me at all. I genuinely wouldn't be surprised at that. But as you mentioned, it's the player quality they still have. We didn't even mention McAllister. They still have very premium quality in their team, despite changes, despite not signing a player yet, by the way. Klopp, arguably a generational coach, for them at least 100%. Anyway, is gone. Maybe you're bringing in a weaker coach, but he's bringing in fresher ideas. Some other players are going to step up. He's going to like certain people that maybe Klopp didn't like. So we're going to be very surprised with Liverpool. But because of their player quality that they still have, I'm still going to back them to be in the top 4. But honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if they're not in the top 4. It just wouldn't. But I'm going to just stick with it. I liked what they've seen in the preseason with them. But it does come right now in preseason is cool. In them games around December, January, and they're trying to play this poppy football and it's not working, Liverpool fans ain't used to that. Liverpool fans are used to blood and thunder, bro. Get the ball in the box, get men running, let's score goals and let's kill. They're not used to the methodical play. So we'll see how patient they are with that. But I'm going to stick with them in the top 4. I'm actually going to go with them 3rd. I'm going to go with Tottenham 4th. I do fancy Tottenham as well. I think Tottenham are going to have a good year. Ange in his 2nd season. They showed a lot of signs last year and they brought in Bergvall. Player.
Stocks in him?
We're going to do our talks later.
Okay.
Bergvall, baller. He looks like a baller. And I think we're going to be raving about him very soon. Technical quality, receives the ball off the back 4 with ease, composure, young. He can move, dribble with the ball. What a pickup it was, They got Archie Gray coming in now. He's not going to be probably transformative because he's still very young, but very good. If you watch the Championship, you know how good he is. If you're playing in the Championship 16, 17, you're a player. You know what I mean? You're a good player. So I'm looking forward to seeing them. And the Dom Solanke, I think that's a perfect signing. And a lot of people are saying Tony, but I just think the mobility that Solanke has, and he can press. I think that's a very key decision. Like, I don't think Tony's someone that you get to press and stuff. So I'm going to go Tottenham in the top 4. I'm going to go Liverpool 3rd. And then it's now down to the top 2.
Yeah, I think it's very self-explanatory with that one. Now, I think Arsenal and Man City obviously have been the 2 best teams in the league for the last 2 years. Arsenal being very, very close to winning the Premier League. Now, I've always said, obviously, I feel like they need a striker, but the way Arteta manages his team and the way he wants them to play, a striker is not as necessary as it is for other teams. Now, I think from defence, I think they have the best defence in the league for me. That pairing of Saliba and Gabriel is unreal. Ben White has been incredible, and now Timber's come back. They've got Calafiori now as well. Kyrgios there as well. So they've got, for me, a very, very good defence. Their midfield, I mean, we don't need to speak too much about Odegaard and then Declan Rice, Partey, Jorginho. It's really good. My issue is with them, if Saka gets injured on that right-hand side, it's a problem.
Yeah.
And he's played so much football,
a lot of football
over the last 2 seasons, right? I think he's a very irreplaceable player in that team. Martinelli.
He has to step up.
He has to really step up this season. I think they've got good options in terms of him and Trossard, but someone's got to be the one where he's the definitive player on that side. And then obviously Havertz is always going to play there as well. So I like the look of Arsenal. I just think when you're coming up against these massive teams, you need something to change. I think you need some sort of different option. We saw that with Man City. They were able to alternate it. They even won a league the season before last without Haaland. You know what I'm trying to say? So for that reason, I believe that Arsenal will finish second again.
I'm going to back that. I'm going to back that. As of the 14th of August, as I'm saying this right now, I look at Man City, I look at Arsenal, and we saw what happened last season, we saw what happened the season before. Arsenal came close. What are Arsenal doing right now to tip the scale? Calafiori is not going to, for me, tip the scale to surpass Man City. Like, for me to get above them, you've got to go for it. You've got to go for it at some point. Declan Rice was a signing like that. You know, you've got to... Jesus, I know he came from City, but he came and really impacted things in the first season. They were ready to title challenge. I'm just looking at it now and I'm like, Calafiori, they're linked with Mikel Moreno. I'm like, is that going to topple Man City that are chasing a 5-peat? We're talking about a juggernaut. Like, who's tipping the scale there? You know what I mean? You're still thinking, hopefully they can get a fit Jesus. Because Jesus, when he's fit and fine, he's very good. Very, very good. But you're still hoping on that. And we've seen the last 2 seasons, that's not something you can bank on. So I'm looking at it and I'm just saying, Arsenal have a fantastic squad, 100%. You know, incredible defense, very good manager, very good midfield, and Saka's brilliant. They've got good players, but as you mentioned, I just think what's moving the needle? That what's now going to move it? Because you've got to this point with Man City, just this point. What's now going to make you do this? Because Man City let Julian Alvarez go, and they haven't replaced him. In fact, it looks like Man City's transfer window is going to be internal solutions.
Yeah.
Oh, Savio's come in. Okay, he was a signing, but Savio's come in. He's going to occupy the right-hand side, and he's going to share it with Oscar Bob. Cool. Jack Grealish and Doku are going to do the left. Foden, Bernardo, and KDB apparently are going to be the options in midfield. And obviously, Rodri's got his situation. And Kovar and stuff. So they're just internally trying to salute. Because how do you improve Man City at the moment? It's very hard to. The only thing for them last season, Haaland missed games. KDB missed games. So they're just looking at it like, okay, if these two... they're not Jesus. These two are juggernauts. These two elite players stay fit, they're confident going into the season. I just think Arsenal need to just do something different. Mikel Moreno and Calafiori, is that tipping the scale? I just don't know, man. So I have Arsenal second, pushing it close again, but I just don't think that's enough to stop Man City, unfortunately.
Yeah.
By the way, we're not going to be in the title race. So I'm Team Arsenal this year.
Yeah.
I'm Team Arsenal this year to win the league. I hope Arsenal win it if it's not Man United.
Yeah, just because I feel like it's I don't want to say it's boring because it's easy to say that. Man United was doing this for a long time where we was winning a lot of trophies, and as a fan, you don't think it's boring. You love it, right?
No, yeah.
I think with Arsenal, they've got super close, and I think, as you were saying, basically, if they had signed somebody, a marquee signing that is proven in not just in the Premier League, but just in terms of European football, or someone that it changes the scope of Arsenal in a certain way. However, I do believe that Arteta has his way.
But yeah, okay.
And that way is almost worked last season.
Yeah.
And if it had worked, we would not be sitting here saying that it doesn't work.
But what are we saying after the Champions League? After the Champions League against Bayern Munich, the whole talk, I've been saying it for a long time, the whole talk was Arsenal need just maybe a little bit of X factor. Where is that signing? Like, and they were talking about, okay, maybe a Nico Williams, maybe a Rafael Leao, where's that signing? Where's that signing? Now it's back to hopefully Jesus stays fit and hopefully Martinelli has a good year. But where's that signing, man?
I think, you know what it is? You see, like, when Man City are the team you're trying to beat, yeah.
But even in the Champions League, you're going to need that,
it takes away from the brilliance of what Arteta has done for Arsenal.
Yes, no, he's done brilliant.
He's done a brilliant job,
No,
and in hindsight, if Pep was not there, then it would be a different story. If it was just against all the other teams, Arsenal would have won 2 leagues by now. Yeah, 2 leagues since they last won it. But because of the level that Man City are, you have to be way better. Yeah. And you have to show something that can counter that. City also didn't have the greatest start to last season, but once they got going, there was no stopping them.
But even in the Champions League, I think Champions League becomes very...
That Bayern game at sorry to cut you, that Bayern game at Emirates, I was there with my dad, watching, and I said, if this game ends without an Arsenal win, they're not going to go through. Yeah. And I just knew, it's like typical Arsenal. They faltered at the hurdle that wasn't even a finish hurdle.
Yeah. And you got to remember, it was it was like a 0-0, I think it was, and then I can't remember what it was. Against Porto, I'm talking about even against Porto, they didn't really. Remember, it went to penalties against Porto. I think Champions League, you're gonna need that bit of difference. It's a lot right now that they're expecting on Saka. There are a lot you're expecting on Odegaard to produce that magic. And yes, they can be their X factor players, but I do think you just need it to come from multiple areas at times. Hold back Man City for too long. Foden's popping up with a shimmy bang top bins. Hold back. KDB's doing a pass that you've never seen before. Haaland is doing a flipping flying kick into the back in the net. Yeah. Somebody, I mean, anything. Even though he's not the greatest player, Doku can just make something happen sometimes. And then something happens. He gets it across the box. Haaland's there. Something. I just think Arsenal need that. I just think they need that, and I just don't want anyone to forget that's what the narrative was at that point in the season. I know, the season starts, it's preseason, everyone forgets what happened last season, you're just optimistic. Well, I think Arsenal still need that, man. So to top City and win the Champions League, because this year, I think Arteta needs to bring one of them. Personally, not to get sacked or nothing, I'm not going to go that far, but you got to start looking, Champions League or the Premier League's 5 years into the job. I think, maybe you can have a very convincing Premier League campaign and Champions League, maybe win the FA Cup or something. But they do need to win a trophy this year.
100%. All right, cool. So that's our top 6
Yeah.
confirmed. I'm sure you'll see it on the screen right now. And for the listeners, I can just go over it again. I've gone 6th place. I've gone with Aston Villa. 5th place, I've gone Manchester United. 4th, I've gone Liverpool. 3rd, I've gone Spurs. 2nd, Arsenal. And of course, 1st, Manchester City.
I've gone Newcastle 6th, Manchester United 5th, Tottenham 4th, Liverpool 3rd, City 1st, and Arsenal 2nd. I still something about Newcastle. I promise you guys.
Well,
bro. Something about Newcastle, they're gonna push the top 4.
Remember, this is premature. This is just the beginning.
They're gonna push the top 4.
So we're gonna go with relegation. Now I'm not gonna lie, this one's very simple for me.
Really?
Yeah, because I think when I look at last season, there was a few teams, that I said were absolutely they stole a living still being in the Premier League. Wolves being one of them for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Nottingham Forest got better towards the end. Everton, on God, I don't know how they stayed.
Big Sean Dyche.
Yeah, Big Sean Dyche. Yeah. So for me, those teams are, a problem. But Leicester City, I class them as a Premier League team. Not only do they win it, the only team outside of the top 4, you're going to call it, that have won a Premier League over the last, 10, 15 years, Leicester City, they're back, right?
You fancy them stay up?
It's tough, because I feel like
Steve Cooper,
I think he's a top manager, I do think I like him, man.
Coops too,
I think he's a good manager. My issue is with Ipswich Town and Southampton. Now, McKenna going to Ipswich, that's tough. That's tough business. In the Premier League, your first game's against Liverpool. That sets a tone that is hard to recover from. I mean, if they was to miraculously get a result from them, then, okay, it builds momentum. But your first game is probably going to be a loss. How do you come back from that? Southampton have always had an up and down situation. So the 3 teams that I'm going to get relegated, they're a bit bold. But the only reason why I'm not mentioning Wolves in this one is because Gary O'Neill, man.
Yeah.
I think
Top
he's
man.
him. So I'm going Southampton.
Yes.
I'm also going Ipswich. And I'm going Nottingham Forest.
Oh, okay. Southampton, Ipswich, Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
Ooh. To be fair, that's a good one. I am going Southampton.
Yeah.
Because I do think they are playing a brand of football right now in the Championship, which works for the Championship. And we always seem to see when teams come and try and do it in the Premier League, L's start to happen. So I think Southampton, the 3-5-2, the alternate positions that they were playing in the Championship is cool, but trying to do that in the Premier League, I'm worried for them in that one. So I am going Southampton to go down. I do. The only thing about Nottingham Forest that I just think Nuno is battle tested. That's the only thing. But Nottingham
And I like their
Forest,
team.
Nottingham
I really like
Forest
their
is
team.
a tough one. Southampton, I think Leicester, again, Steve Cooper might know a way of getting them up. He's had the experience with it at Nottingham Forest. He can mix it up. He doesn't have to play that brand of football where it's like attractive play. They can try and win games. So I'm thinking, Southampton's my definite. Ipswich, I just think they surprise, or would they just do like a Luton? Would they just do like
I think they're going to have some good games. We're gonna love Ipswich being back.
I'm going to go Ipswich. Did you put Ipswich in yours?
I did.
Ipswich.
And I don't want them to because I like Amari Hutchinson. I like him. Good player.
Yeah, I don't even want to just say the exact same one as yours, but you know who I think have to worry too? After the last few seasons, I think, is Brentford.
Brentford, I know. I was thinking Brentford as well.
Brentford, I think it's a time ticking for them. Like, is it... You started seeing it with like Stoke and stuff. Like slowly you're finishing lower and lower every year. And it's just getting closer and closer. But I feel like that's Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
I feel like that's Nottingham Forest.
I think they're more likely. I mean, look, they've got
Tony will be there the whole
Gibbs White's
season.
good. Olaina's, I love Olaina as well.
Owani, if he stays fit.
Elanga, again, the fitness.
Elanga.
It's the fitness for me. But you got to lock one in.
Do you know what? We'll do it as a joint inside scoop relegation in this one because I agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Forest, Southampton, and Ipswich.
Okay.
It's Forest, Southampton, and Ipswich. Brentford.
Yeah. You haven't got a lot left.
Yeah, Wolves, you said as well.
I'm a proper fan of Gary O'Neill, and I really believe that I've seen them like clips of them pre-season of training and stuff. Like I never take pre-season very seriously in it, but when I look at the way he wants them to play, and him as a player, like he was a tidy player as well, and the way he wants them to play.
Do Fulham have anything to worry about?
Oh no chance. I think Fulham are good, man.
ESR
I think
came in.
ESR, Iwobi's doing really well. They're Pereira. Tosin. I mean, that's a big one.
Painha left.
Yeah, of course, but
Fulham might be a surprise one, you know.
They've got Rodrigo Gomez, Pedro Lima, Tommy Doyle from Man City as well. So I feel like there's some.
It's just Wolves. That's Wolves.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's Wolves.
So Wolves. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, now I was talking about Fulham.
Oh, okay. So with Fulham, I think they're a Premier League team. They'll be in and around the top 10 for me.
Think so,
yeah, I think they'll be in and around the top 10. That's my view. But we'll talk about it another time.
Anyway, just don't do that on Friday, please. Thanks.
Okay. All right. So player of the year. Now this one's random because like, how can we say player of the year when obviously it really does depend on the player who is probably close to winning the league. All right.
Unless you have an outstanding.
If Man City win the league, Rodri's going to be player of the year for me.
You think so?
Yeah.
So is that your
Rodri?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. He's the best centre midfield player in the world. Arguably the best player in the world. I think he does everything perfectly. Like I think he's a great passer. He breaks lines. He just keeps the ball ticking. He's that security in midfield. And when he's in the team, they rarely lose.
Yeah.
That's an indication of how good he is. I think he will be pivotal. If Man City, we said, Man City's going to win the league, I think it's him.
Yeah, because I said Man City are going to win the league, I'm actually going to go Haaland.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think fit Haaland, I think he's scoring 30 league goals again. So I think fit Haaland, 30 league goals, win a title again. I think that I got to give it to him. I mean, I don't think he's going to break his record. I think it's 36 goals. That's a lot. The surprise factor of it is gone as well. So, but I just think 30 goals that I'm envisioning, 30 goals, a league title, I think it'll be Haaland. Yeah. If it was from but the thing is, again, like it might start becoming fatigue, like voters fatigue in a way. So it might go to an Arsenal player. It might go. We saw Liverpool players picking it up, even though they didn't win the league. So it could go to an Arsenal player. Or if we are saying, you're saying Spurs third. I mean, if Spurs finish third, someone's got to have an outstanding season. Like that might be the player of the year.
I just think this season is going to be tough for Man City. It's not going to be as easy as I want to say it was easy last season, but I said I don't think it'll be as straightforward. I think they really are going to have to beat these top teams.
Yeah, I think last season they weren't beating the big teams.
So that's my point. So I feel like, but when it came to the business end of the season, Rodri stepping up was imperative for them. But like, I'm looking at Spurs, I'm looking at Chelsea, I'm looking at Liverpool, United. Even though Liverpool haven't bought anyone, they've got a new manager. So something's new about every team, right? And I think in order for you to be the best team, you've got to beat the best, right? Obviously, like you said, City didn't beat the best, but they beat Man United. They beat Arsenal. So it's like they've won games. So just off that, I think so. Rodri will be the player. But like you said, if Spurs do amazing, someone's got to be the player that allowed them to happen. So it could be Solanke scoring goals every game, or it could be Maddison with his assists. Whoever it is, you got to contribute to your team getting high up the table. So I've gone Rodri, and you've gone Haaland for our players of the year. All right, so young player of the year.
I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, because there's a lot of young talent.
I'm excited about this one.
I want you to lead. Go on, talk to me.
I'm excited about this one. Listen, I was saying it to Leah's the other day, right? The only thing that I'm concerned about, I think that's why I put one to watch in here in our deck, right? Because I think one to watch and young player can intertwine in a way. One thing we have seen in the last couple of years, I don't know if you can get the young player of the years up of the last couple of years.
I'll get that up in a sec.
They've been playing at a player of the year standard.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not playing like Dele Alli. I remember when Dele Alli won it, he was playing at a young player of the year standard in terms of it was brilliant. No, I'm not disregarding that at all. It was fantastic. But then there was like Kane scoring 29. There was like some freaks. There was guys doing freakish stuff. There was still Eden Hazards in the league and stuff. But when you look at now, I think when you're looking at the young players, Palmer was nearly won the Golden Boot. Bukayo Saka, he had a season where last year people are still like, was it his best season? Maybe not, but his stats were good. I mean, if Garnacho gives me what Saka gave last year, mate, I'm singing to the moon, bro. I'm so happy. Saka in another world, he could have even potentially won a player of the years. So the young players now are playing at literally a player of the year level. So that's why with the players that I'm about to say, I feel like it might be unrealistic for them to win it, but I've got to give a shout to some of these young guys, bro. Like, I think Harvey Elliott is having a brilliant season this year.
I swear on my life.
Yep.
Harvey Elliott was going to be my pick, along with you know who.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but go on, I'll let you finish.
I think
first.
Harvey Elliott is having is going to have a big season.
Yeah.
I think Garnacho is going to have a very good season. Bergvall, that I just mentioned, at I believe he's 20 years old at Tottenham. I think he's going to have a good year. I think you're going to mention Amad Diallo. I think is one. Now, after what he did at Community Shield, we got to think about Oscar Bob. You know, there's a few players in there that are kind of falling into my one to watches. But again, as I'm saying, because you have to play at a player of the year level, do I think Harvey Elliott is going to be player of the year level? Maybe not. Do I think Amad is? Maybe not. So because of that, I'm probably... How old is Saliba still eligible? Because you have to be 21.
I think he's 23.
He's 23
2023,
now. No,
yeah.
I think they've changed it now. You have to be 21 by July the 1st.
Yeah.
So Saliba's not eligible. Wow. You know what? Because I think Man United are also going to have a good season, I'm going to go Kobe.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Kobe for the young player of the year. But again, it's going to be tough because Cole Palmer, I believe, is still eligible.
Yeah.
Because he just turned 22. So he could go and have a brilliant season again. So yeah, I'm going to say Kobe Mainu.
Have we got the same birthday?
Who?
Me and Cole Palmer.
Right, yeah?
6th of May.
Oh, so no, he's not eligible then.
No,
he's not eligible.
Yeah,
okay. I'm gonna go Kobe Mainu.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Kobe Mainu. I wish I could have said Lenny Yoro, but that injuries set it back. But I'm gonna go Kobe Mainu for it, and that's not even me trying to be biased or anything. I just think if we're gonna have a good season, he's gonna be key to it.
Yeah, I would go between him and Garnacho. Just because I felt like
Ahmed, yeah. Do you think Garnacho is gonna? What do you think is gonna happen there?
I think with Garnacho, what we have always seen is that he has this belief that he is going to be a top player, right? He's influenced his CR7 and he's not shy about it. But I don't ever see him shying away from the challenge at hand. Now, we was really, really bad last season, but one of our shining lights was Garnacho.
Yes.
Him coming off the bench against Man City in the Community Shield, almost getting an assist with Rashford, and then also scoring a goal as well in a short period of time. You know, scoring a penalty as well. Like, I think he has that factor, and I feel like this time round he wants to show the world, I am the player.
What's your expectation for him in terms of
for me? I
numbers?
think he has to hit double digits goals and assists. Yeah,
assists and goals.
I think 10 goals, 10 assists. Yeah, ooh. I expect.
That'll be incredible.
If he starts, remember there's 30 games. It's not 38 games,
Yeah.
so it's not that crazy for me to say that, but I expect that because of what he's achieved so far.
Yeah.
I think 10 goals, 10 assists. I think that helps Manchester United highly, but also his claim for him to be a top.
I think the 10 assists will be hard. I think the 10 assists
Well,
will
look,
be hard. But
I'm looking at. Do you know what it is? Maybe I'm just skewed by the last game. Yeah. But he came on the pitch and could have got an assist and a goal.
Yeah, no, that's so true. And it's so funny. Things can change so quickly because if we go to the Fulham and he scores a brace, all of a sudden you're like, maybe you can get 15
Yeah,
goals.
and I just think, the way
quickly.
that, we got Van Nistelrooy in the team, not in the team, but in the coaching staff, I think he's saying to players, get the ball in the box. Look for your player. Don't always try and do the crate, because I think that's one criticism I had for him last season, was he was trying to do too much. I think if he can simplify his game,
I think the right-hand side helps him do
that.
that.
A lot of the time. So I will go, it's either between Kobe and Garnacho, but I will also go with, Garnacho just because you've gone Kobe, yeah? Now, ones to watch, you mentioned it earlier, I think Harvey Elliott, for me.
I agree.
What a fantastic football player.
I think Arnsott's going to like him as well. Favour him in that 10.
Really well. And I think, if you play him in a 10, but I think he's also good off the left, off the right, sorry. But obviously, with Mohamed Salah's there right now, that's one for the future for them as well, to know you've got a player on his left foot. Absolutely crazy. He's got a good eye for goal, link-up play, very techie. So for me, I think this is his breakthrough season as a starter for Liverpool. So Harvey Elliott for me, I've got stocks in Harvey Elliott.
I agree. I've got that as well. I'm gonna say some of my one to watches: Archie Gray at Spurs. I've got Harvey Elliott.
Yeah.
I've got
Oscar Bob.
I've got Amad
wow.
Diallo.
Yep.
Definitely. Who else is there? There's a few. He's not really young anymore, but
I think Smith Rowe's going to have a beautiful season at Fulham, you
okay.
know. I really do think. I think
that's a good shout.
The environment for him is you are him. Whereas Arsenal is quite difficult. There's so many of them, and you're not even in favour by your manager.
Yeah.
I think Fulham is the perfect place for him. It's in London. It's not like he's travelling far. He's still got his family around him. I think he'll have a great season.
I think he's not obviously young, but I think
24.
It'll be not ESR. Who I'm about to say now.
Yeah.
He actually is young, but he's not like young player of the year eligible. But I think it'll be interesting to see Timber this year. It was a big miss for them last year. Again, I think he's picked up a little knock, but it'll be interesting to see what he adds to Arsenal this season. So I've got Jurriën Timber in there. There was another one that I had in there. I completely forgot who it was, but I'm looking at Leif Davis at Ipswich, their left back. Man United are going to be in search for a left back soon.
Maatsen,
so I want to see if
Maatsen's going to be good as well.
I want to see if he's going to have a year where it's like, in a way, kind of similar to Andrew Robertson when he was at Hull and then Liverpool picked him up. I want to see if Leif Davis can make that transition to the Premier League level. So he's somebody that I'm looking at. And there was somebody else. I think it was somebody at... Oh, sorry. And lastly, Adam Wharton again. Adam Wharton again. Can you kick on? Because I'm sorry. I need you at Manchester United, mate. I need you at Manchester United, mate. So I need a solid season, bruv. I need us to go in for that guy. Like, for me, I'm looking at him, and I said the same thing about Declan Rice. These are ones we can't miss, man. These are ones that Fergie, I don't want to talk about Fergie all the time. He would have snapped them up. You know, there's some players out there, man. Jack Grealish, Harry Kane, Declan Rice. I've always just looked at these guys like, you guys are the wrong team, bro. You guys belong to Man United. You know what I mean? And Adam Wharton looks at that one. Like, that looks like it could be a Carrick part 2, you know? Like, Wharton and Cobby in the same team. Oh, mate. Adam Wharton, I'm watching him, man. So that's one of them.
And Adam, if you're watching, look, I'll pick you up. Come get you from Selhurst. Drive you straight there. Yeah.
So Adam Wharton.
For you.
He might be up for the Young Player of the Year too.
Yeah. He's definitely a one to watch, but we'll see. I hope he has a good season, just not against United. All right, cool. So we've got 3 more. Overachiever,
I believe Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace. I think Glasner had something going. Mateta has literally turned into Henry.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's gone on him. He is Henry now.
Touch finish.
Bro, he went from the worst striker I've seen in the league. Like, I literally said he looked at Altidore.
Yeah.
And he has turned into Henry, bro. Yeah. I don't know how he's done. He tucked in his shirt.
Yeah, and he got serious. He said,
literally.
He said, hold my cup.
Bro, he went to the Olympics and started ripping it up on a global stage. I'm like, yo, this guy's moving absolutely out of his mind. I think Palace has still got something going on. Yes, Elise left. That's big. But people got to remember, they spent a lot of the season last season as well with Elise injured anyway. Yeah. But that was when Roy Hodgson was there and they were having a mare. But Glasner came in, had them firing. So I'm still gonna go. I'm gonna go them overachievers. I mean, what is overachievement in for Palace in a way though? That's the thing. I mean, they're not gonna break into the top 6, but I just think they're gonna have a very safe, no conversation about relegation kind of year. So that's my overachievers.
Okay, so mine were gonna be Wolves.
Overachievers.
Yeah.
So, but where do you see them finishing?
I just think they're gonna. I think they will finish 12th. 11th.
Yeah.
I think they'll be. I'm super invested in this Wolves journey. For me, I think they've got the right man, and I think Wolves have always been a top club in from the Championship and also the Premier League. I think they're way better than the Championship, and I think in the Premier League they've, I feel like they give away the games a lot when they've got it under control. And I think this time around they're working on it. So I'm really, really happy with Gary O'Neill. I'm literally, honestly, like, when they say I'm looking for managers for England, I think he's got it in him. Maybe it's because I'm a fan of him, but I just think even with their signings, like I mentioned before, like they've signed some good players. And it's not, usually it was just, when Nuno was there, it was just hella Portuguese players, yeah. They've gone and found some players from like Man City, like Tommy Dole's massive, everyone talks highly about him. He's now going to be playing in a team and having an opportunity to work really hard as well. They've got centre forward now as well, 25 million for Larson as well. So I hope it works for them. So that will be my overachievers for this season. It would be Wolves.
Underachievers. Oh, this
Chelsea.
one's tough.
I'm going Chelsea. Yeah. I think they've got all the gear, no idea.
Really?
Like, I hope I'm right.
What's underachievement? Do you rank they finish outside top 8?
I don't think they finished top 7.
Ooh.
That's my beginning of the season claim that Chelsea don't finish above top 7. And the reason why I say it is because I just don't see the cohesion. You've got the issue that happened with Enzo. You've got Trevor Chalobah, who I think was going to be the future of Chelsea, just being ostracized.
Yeah.
Conor Gallagher wants to dip. Like, I just feel like there's just too much man in one place. It's like a rave. There's no gal. It's just hella man in there.
Too many men.
It's just too many men. So I think for me, Chelsea will underachieve. I just don't. I think it's too much of a job
For Maresca to do.
Maresca, but also like Todd doesn't seem to understand the concept of running a football club. You're signing players on these long-term contracts. For me, I just think
You just can't get your head around
I can't get my head around
Yeah.
it. And if I'm proven wrong, then it will be on my face.
Yeah,
but for now, I think Chelsea will be the
Yeah, I think Chelsea is an unknown one. As you mentioned, they've got talent. Maresca, I don't know. I'm not too convinced of Maresca yet. I watched the Championship. I'm not that convinced of him. So we will see about that. I actually think the underachievers this year, though, a lot of people are talking about West Ham signings. I'm not going to have them there. Villa, I don't think I'm going to do as good as last season, but I don't think I'm going to put it because I see it as realistic underachievement. It's actually going to be Brighton.
Okay.
It's actually going to be Brighton. And I actually think Brighton have made some decent signings, but they got a 34-year-old manager, I believe it is. Now, I'm not saying De Zerbi took them to next levels, but he had them at a very good level. You know what I mean? And they were consistently playing in the Europa League.
31.
31.
Yeah. I'm older than him.
31. You're older than
I'm
their
older
manager.
than him. Yeah. American
Bro,
as well.
He'll have to call you Sa.
Yeah. Sa. Okay.
Bro, he'll have to call you. Their manager will have to call you Sa. Like, you know what I mean? He'll have to ballet if he sees you.
Yeah.
So, bro, that's how mad it is. So, I don't know. Not because of his age, but I just think Brighton are going to have an underwhelming season. Like, I won't be surprised to see Brighton 14th, 13th.
Yeah.
Just in the middle of, not relegation, but no man's land. You know, there's like, there's the top 6, then there's your Conference League thing now. Then there's like, oh, well done, you finished in the top half in 9th and 10th. Then there's no man's land to about 15th. Then it's like relegation battle. I think they're going to be amongst that no man's land from 10th to, not even 10th, from 11th to like 15th, I think. That's for now anyway.
Yeah,
That's
we'll see. I do think Brighton are they're treading.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be
them and
interesting.
Brentford for me, I think. You are playing games. Yeah, playing games. But lastly, top goal scorer. This one's tough, yeah, because it's always the usual suspects. It's your Mohamed Salah's, you know, and he creeps up randomly. He'll just score a lot of goals. I think though, it's easy to say Erling Haaland, right? I want it to be someone different, but then I look at the Premier League and I'm like, who is a gunman and who is good?
I see no one pass.
Yeah, I can't see. I can't even see anyone.
I want to try Sack.
Yeah, but I can't see someone
Haaland.
scoring the amount of goals that Haaland could potentially score. I think.
Top goal scorer with missing like 8 games last season.
Yeah. So I think it's unanimous for both of us.
It has to be.
It's got to be Erling Haaland.
It's Erling Haaland, man. Like, I think that's the most surefire one.
Yeah. Literally, I think all the other, like, there's some honourable mentions. Obviously, Solanke scored 19 goals last season, but now he's at a better club. Maybe there's more opportunity for him to score goals.
To finish Golden Boot, you have to basically say ahead of Erling Haaland, you have to score over 25 league goals.
Yeah.
I can't see that.
Yeah,
Nah.
I mean,
I can't see that.
this guy's he's just a rigger. He just rigged the football. I mean, you made a claim about a year ago about him being the most, like,
just the best goal scorer.
Yeah. He's en route to proving that wrong. I think obviously there's been other strikers, you know, we can name them, sit and name them, but his numbers and his ratio
if
is
he did
scary.
8 years in this league, he'll break the
he'll break the record. He'll break the record.
He's ridiculous, bro. It has to be Haaland.
So, ladies and gentlemen worldwide, that is our Premier League prediction so far. Obviously, the season's going to start on Friday, and we'll be there watching Manchester United against Fulham at Old Trafford. Obviously, things will change throughout the season, but yeah. Let us know in the comments as well what you think yours is. It's good for you guys to also play this as well. And yeah, man, we'll see how the season goes as well. Obviously, I've told Cams not to hug Roy Keane again.
Yeah.
But you know I did it when I met him, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So my one wasn't like
on the main street.
On the main street. Mine was in the tunnel. It was like, How he goes? He looked at me, and goes, "What are you doing?" But then he hugged me. But no, honestly, it's just a beautiful thing that we're able to do stuff like this as well. And like I said, guys, obviously follow us all over the socials. We'll put the socials in the links and everything else. But I've been Harry Pinero. It's been Culture Cams. You know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe. And to the audio listeners, thank you for locking in with us. We'll see you next time.
Peace.